What the freak up is everybody? Welcome back to another jet-lagged episode of the Single Parents Podcast. Could you imagine if I started every episode out like that? That would probably get annoying pretty quick, but you also know what might get annoying pretty quick. That's traveling in a car for 4 hours straight with nobody but yourself, a dog, and a couple of young kids. I mean, it sounds like on paper, maybe you'd be like, no, that actually sounds pretty fun, Anthony. That sounds pretty legit. I would like to do that. But I think for most of us out there, the idea sounds good from the start. But then you get into it, you probably get into hour number 1, hour number 2. Then by that third hour, whoo, man, you might need a drink. It's never good it's never, ever. Hey, look at me. It's never good to drink and drive. Don't do it. But I'm just saying you might need a drink in that certain circumstance. So why am I even bringing that up? Why am I even bringing up how annoying it might be to drive in a car by yourself with a dog and 2 kids? Well, I'm bringing it up because that's what I'm about to do here in about, a 3 hours. Yeah, about a few hours from now. If you're watching the video version of the show, you can see that I'm currently in my vehicle recording this podcast because I'm about to do a little road trip. We got a little road trip action going on right now. Taking a little bit of a vacay with me and the girls. Gonna go visit some family. I just, one of my brothers just had a baby girl, so I'm going to go meet my new niece, and we're going to vibe. We're going to welcome the summer well by just kicking back and eating a bunch of food and hanging out with the fam and all that sort of good stuff. So it's going to be a good time for sure, and I'll bring you guys along for a part of that getaway. But in order for us to actually get to the good vibes, we practically, literally, all the ways have to get to where we need to go, which means traveling in a car for hours and hours and hours. And me, as a single dad, it's just going to be me making the journey. I'm trying to keep myself awake and hyped because on top of that 4-hour drive that I have going on later today, it's also still technically a work day and a school day. The day that I'm recording this, the day that we're leaving for this trip. And so I still had to wake up pretty early for work this morning. And I'm technically recording this episode on my lunch break. So I should probably go eat something. That's probably also contributing to the fact that I'm pretty tired. But then also the girls still had school, so still had to get them to school and lunch and blah, 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 on top of making sure all their clothes were packed and don't forget anything. And they have their little technology that they'll watch and enjoy on the car right there to hopefully bring the annoyance level down to as low as possible. But they came back from their mom's house, honestly, with these wireless headphones that they were going to use for their tablets or whatever, for the car ride. And so this whole week, though, Maddie has been having trouble with one of her headphones and has not been able to get it to sync, hasn't been able to get it to work. So I was like, you know what? Here's what we're going to do, because we're going to stay positive on this trip. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to have happy attitudes the whole time, I'm sure. Even me, dad included. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the store and we're gonna buy wired headphones that can plug in to your tech. That way you don't have to worry about Bluetooth and syncing and battery life and all this stuff. You just plug in and you can just watch Netflix for as long as your heart desires for those 4 hours we're on the road. So just little stuff like that, like getting ready to practically travel with kids as a single parent, as a single dad. It takes a lot because there's a lot of stuff to think about, and you have to do all the thinking, and you got to do all the prep. And I'm sure your kids can help for sure. And then if you're doing a drive, you got to do all the driving. You got to do all the budgeting for the trip. So, man, wish me luck. Have you guys ever traveled, if single parents traveled alone with your kids? Those of you especially have younger kids. Have you ever done it before? I'm only going 4 hours away with my little ones to my family's house. But I actually talked to one of my friends who's a single mom. Let's see, a little while ago, and she full on took her kids, three young kids like mine, but she has three, single mom, took her kids to freaking Disneyland by herself. And so she's like, yeah, we went, we had a good time, it was cool, but I didn't get any pictures. You're not gonna see a whole bunch of photos up on social media because literally all of my energy had to go to wrangling my kids, keeping my kids, sane for the most part, to make sure we all had a good time. All of my energy had to go to focusing on them and all the practical stuff we had to do to make it through that trip. So didn't even have time to snag any photos, really. Sorry. But I mean, man, I couldn't imagine taking my kids all the way to Disneyland by myself. Like, I guess they're 7 and 8, almost 9. Maybe we might be able to do it. I don't know. What do you guys think? What does traveling with your kids look like for you? Is it easy? Is it cool? Is it chaotic? Is it not that big of a deal? Do you do it often? Have you ever done it before? Let me know. And again, as you can see, it's just me here in my car by myself. Because this whole travel vlog podcast, plog, if you will. I know I'm not the first person to come up with that. There's other content creators who do plogs, but we're doing a plog this week. But I was supposed to record with Steph. You know Steph, you love Steph. A couple of days ago, we had a regular episode planned as we get ready to head to the season finale next week. We had our penultimate episode all planned and ready to go, but she just got hit with some bad allergies. Her allergies this year have been kicking her butt. So honestly, I'm not even really sure if she's alive right now. For all I know, she might be getting fitted for her angel wings and her halo. So actually, let's just call Steph. Let's call Steph and see. Let's see how she's doing. Let's just see how she's doing. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, you are on the Single Parents Podcast. Have you ever heard of it before?
Not ever.
Not ever. Well, that's probably that's on me. That's on me. I need to do better. But Steph, good to hear from you. You're alive. I was just telling the people that we had a little scare when it comes to your allergies. So you're okay, right? You're not talking to us from beyond the grave or anything?
Not yet, even though it still feels like it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know that you're more likely you're probably at work. So I needed Steph. I need some quick advice. You're very good with the wisdom, with bringing us just the good things to chew on, and so I need some help. So I was just telling the folks, the beautiful SPs out there, that I'm getting ready to travel with my kids, by myself, with me, my kids, and my dog, in a car for 4 hours. And so I need just some quick tips, some advice, some words of wisdom so I don't lose my mind in the car. So do you have any gold for us today?
I say number one, melatonin. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I knew you'd have fire advice. That's good.
I think, honestly, just distractions. Like any games you can take, tons of snacks. And I don't know, Olive is such an easy traveler just because
Okay.
I've been running her all over this country since since I'm still pregnant with her. So she's such an easy traveler, but usually we take her tablet and make sure she has games and movies downloaded onto it. And then we listen to loud music and sing, and tons of snacks.
Yeah.
So that you don't have hangry children.
That's a good point. I didn't think about the fact that hangry children probably might add to the chaos. So I should probably feed my kids. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take that into I think we'll probably, because I'm gonna actually get my girls from school here in a few hours, and then we're just hitting the road as soon as I pick them up. So we'll probably
just take it off.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like ripping off a Band-Aid, I think if I sit and think about it too much and plan for the perfect time, it's going to be a lot worse. So I just need to bite the bullet and go.
Yeah, I think so. And I think just tons of snacks. That's my biggest advice for you and for them.
All right. So I'll load up on snacks. I think I have some goldfish somewhere, maybe some Go-Gurt. I don't know.
Heck yeah.
All right, I'll do that. Well, thank you so much. We miss you. We'll hopefully we'll see you on the next episode, the season finale. Yeah, are you still good for that, or should we talk off camera about that? Okay, I guess I should. Yeah.
Together, I might be sniffling the whole time, but.
All right, awesome. Well, we appreciate you, and we will see you next week on the last episode of the season.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Steph's awesome. That's some good advice. Snacks. I didn't think about snacks because I'm not like a big, how do I say this? I'm not a big eater. Like I eat to survive, I guess, and I eat because I get headaches easy when I don't eat. And sorry, just turning off my car. That way, hopefully it's not so noisy in here. But I don't really, I don't eat for, like, unless I have to. And so, like, if I'm going 100 miles an hour, like I am today, getting ready for this trip, then it's very easy for me to say, screw eating, don't have time for that. I gotta make sure we have the underwear. Gotta make sure we got socks. Gotta make sure that we have toothbrushes. Gotta make sure we have enough clothes to get through. We're gonna be gone for, like, honestly, like 4 or 5 days, because this episode, we're making this trip, like, the weekend, I guess, technically before Memorial Day. So the girls don't have school that Monday. I don't have work that Monday. So we're leaving early through the week and taking several days off. So it's going to be good. But anyways, all that to say, I have a list of stuff I don't want to forget since we're going to be gone for so long. So the idea of snackage, the idea of having food, it's probably smart. It's probably smart. So I still got to load up the car. We packed our bags. Actually, honestly, we packed our bags pretty early in the week because I did all of my laundry and stuff on Sunday before the girls came back to my house. And I just put all of their clean clothes on their bed. And when they came back, I was like, okay, here's like a bunch of clothes that's clean that you could wear on the trip. You should be good to go. So I want you before bed tonight to pack your bags, even though it's Sunday and we're not leaving till like Wednesday. Pack your bags so that way everything that we basically need to take with us on this trip is already there. It's already in the bag. We know where it's at. We don't have to spend Tuesday night looking for sock matches, and we don't have to spend Tuesday night looking for this or shorts and all this different stuff. We have it. And then throughout the week, we will live out of our suitcases, basically. Like, we'll take stuff out, and then we'll wash it, and then I can put it back in. But for the most part, we have everything packed, so I just need to load up the car. Need to load up Zeus the dog's stuff. I need to feel like there's something big I'm forgetting, and I don't know. I don't know. Blankets. Oh, my gosh. Almost forgot. The girls' blankets are inside, and I need to make sure those are in the car because they got to be comfy. I don't know if Steph said this when it came to her advice, but they got to be comfy. They got to have snacks. They got to have distractions, which I said I got the good headphones for their electronics, so they should be good to go there. I think I'm good. I think I'm good, people. What do you all think? Do you think any travel advice that you would provide? Because this is just a car ride, and like I said, I'm only going like 4 hours west, but so I know some of you, maybe like Steph even said, have flown in planes with your kids as a single parent solo. What's that been like? Or if you have any travel tips in general, I would love to take them, love to hear it. You could always send us an email at thesingleparentspodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on all the socials. And then if you do like the podcast, there's a few things I will just remind you of before I go inside and finish getting everything organized. And that's the first thing that you could do is you could just share the podcast with a friend, with a family member, with your neighbors, with the hitchhiker on the side of the road that you picked up as you travel across the country yourself. Share the podcast so we can keep building the voice on the show and build the community that is the show. And then I would just say, make sure that you yourself are subscribed to the podcast so you never miss another episode in the future. We have the season finale, as you just heard, between me and Steph. Season finale happening next week as we bring the hot era season of the show to a close. We're going to look back on some things, and we're going to talk about some things we've learned. We're going to talk about some cool stuff we have planned for this summer. You're not going to want to miss the season finale next week, so make sure you subscribe, do all the things. And then last but not least, if you feel so inclined to do so, rate the podcast. Rate the podcast 5 stars, highest rating possible, if possible. That way it just tells the algorithms out there that the show is legit, and it passes it along to more people. All right, I'm gonna go get those goldfish. Gotta have the snacks, right? All right. All right, man, we're about halfway through the journey. Just did our first bathroom stop. Mostly, to be honest, I know like the cliche is that like the kids are the ones who say they need to stop and go pee 1,000 times, but this time it was really me. Because I, for some reason, thought it would be a good idea to chug an energy drink as soon as we got on the road. So, yeah, that's my bad. But, man, trip's been all right. It hasn't hit me how tired I am yet. Got some food. The food was good. I tried to plan it so I could be good and somewhat healthy and feel good. Because, okay, so here's the thing with travel. Big thing, Steph said this, snacks and food. We got Zeus here, friend of the show, by the way. He's been a good co-pilot so far. Not too crazy. But yeah, so Steph mentioned food, right? And so I know myself though, and traveling, especially being in a car, you're sitting for hours doing nothing but sitting. So I was like, I don't want to eat something crazy, something filling, something gross, something yucky, something greasy. So that way I'm just sitting, I just had that in my gut sitting for 4 hours, right? So I got like a healthy wrap. I got some like healthy rice things on the side. I have my water, so we're all good. I got that instead of soda. I was like, all right, I'm being very responsible. But the girls, they like their Mickey D's, they like their McDonald's, and so I'm like, you know what, bet, we're going on a road trip. You guys can get McDonald's for dinner if you want. Basically, though, I got their order. Maddie, in particular, ordered a cheeseburger plain. That's how she likes it. Is that right, Zeus? Zeus agrees. He was there. He was witness to the story. She got it plain cheeseburger. That's how she likes it. But of course, we opened the burger up and there's ketchup and mustard and onions and all this other stuff on it. So she's like, hey, I don't want this. I'll just eat my other food. So I tried to be strong. I tried to say, nope, Anthony, don't do it. Just put it in the bag or throw it away. You don't need it. But yeah, I'm not that strong of a person, I guess, because I ate that burger. Well, Zeus helped me out a little bit. We ate that burger, and it's sitting in my gut as we speak. Thankfully, it's only like one little single cheeseburger, so not too bad. So yeah, kind of dealing with that right now. Went to the bathroom. I feel bad for this one guy. I went to the bathroom before we left at this one bathroom, and this dude was like fighting for his life in the stalls. Like, I don't know what God he was praying to in there, but he was praying to something. It sounded like he was having kind of a rough time in there. So, dude, I hope you survived that bathroom experience. It sounds like you were fighting for your life in there, bro. And we'll talk more about bathrooms and road trips in a little bit, but and the girls, they've been good. The girls themselves have been good. They've been really proud of them. They've been chilling on their electronics, haven't been annoying or anything like that. They've just, I had to have them be quiet though while I record this session, or this part of the podcast rather, because they've been singing at the top of their lungs a little, "This Girl Is on Fire," a little Bad Blood, Taylor Swift. Steph would be proud. Bananas, Gwen Stefani. They've been singing. It's like karaoke in the back seat. And but for copyright purposes, I was like, girls, you gotta chill for a sec, otherwise I'm gonna get with a copyright strike. But they've been providing the tunes, the entertainment, and they've been doing it very loudly. But I guess that's better than like fighting and whining and all the other crazy stuff, right? So we'll take what we can get. We take what we can get, people. Okay, so we got a couple more hours left, halfway there. I'm gonna finish this drive and then I'll kind of wrap up with you all for the day once I get to the destination. Anything you want to say, Zeus? Well put, brother. Well put. Oh my goodness. Obviously, if you're watching the video version of this, you could see It's dark. It is nighttime. It's about what I think like 11 o'clock at night. Finally made it to our destination. Me and the girls. Honestly, we probably made it here a good couple of hours ago. 2.5 hours ago. The last bit of road, the last stretch, if you will, was just filled with a lot of the classic question. I think they even made like a movie out of this question. But are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we almost there? What's going on? What's going on? And that last hour especially really dragged because, I get it. You're sitting in a car for several hours. Even me, you get antsy, you get anxious. You just want to be there. And so for kids, they just want to know when they're going to be there. So the last hour was just spent with me answering that question along with a million other questions because they were over their electronics. They were over it. They were just over it. So, but we made it. We finally made it, and I am exhausted, beyond exhausted. I know I promised you all I would check in before I went to bed, but it's just exhausting, The whole thing is exhausting. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're safe. I'm just super tired. I'm thankful though that this trip involved me being around my family because tomorrow morning my girls are going to wake up. Usually they wake up super early, especially when they're excited to do stuff like hang out with my family, and so they'll get up early, but that's what my family's for. They can hang out with my kids, and I can, hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't think there's any wood in this car to knock on, but knock on something, because hopefully that means I get to sleep in, so that'll be pretty nice. But yeah, just tired. I haven't really been able to sit down or relax or do very much. I just put the girls to bed, actually. So I just tucked them in, made sure they were asleep, and they came out to talk to you all. They had to bring all the stuff in, get everything organized, make sure we're all set, didn't lose anything on the trip. We're all good. We're good. We're good. We're cool. We're cool. But yeah, I guess to even think about that, like even once you get to your destination, you don't stop being the parent. You still gotta take care of stuff. So. Whew, all right. But I was just the whole bathroom thing. So I really didn't want to get into this in much depth earlier because my girls were in the car and I didn't want to have to have an hour-long conversation with them about this at that time. Maybe definitely you talk about this to some degree. We get into this when it comes to things that they can kind of that works for that's appropriate for them when it comes to this conversation. So we talk about this. But the whole bathroom thing, I just kind of wanted to bring that up because I think I didn't really think about it until we were at that gas station at that halfway point stop about the fact that for me, being a single dad, traveling along with kids and my kids being girls, what does the whole situation look like when we have to stop going to like a public gas station bathroom, especially one like that, on like an interstate where there's big trucks around and it could just be sketchy for a million different reasons. I'm sure you all understand what I'm getting at. And so what does that look like? So I've seen online different conversations that people have had regarding how to handle this situation. So I know there's some single dads out there that'll just bring their daughters into the men's bathroom with them. And then other people have different opinions about that. So what we did is that I just, obviously walking them in to the bathroom, I have them go in and I just like stand by the door like a guard dog. So I'm not moving. I know they're in the bathroom and I'll stand until I know they're both out and they're done. But I guess the big question is like, okay, that works for them going to the bathroom, but what does that look like for me when I have to run in and go pee really quick? So what do? Well, since there's two of them, usually what I do is I just have them stand right next to the men's bathroom together. Don't let them separate. Don't go wander off looking at the toys on the shelf or the candy or anything. They have to stand right there by the bathroom door. And then I, Usain Bolt, running, pee faster than I've ever peed in my life. Like, I'm talking like I'm the Flash. I'm the little boy from The Incredibles. I am Speedy Gonzales. I'm all the fast people you can think of. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog in there. I'm doing my thing at lightning speed, wash my hands, do my thing, and then I get out literally under, like, I don't know, under 2 minutes, under 3 minutes. Like, I make it quick. That's just how I do it. And again, I know different people have different opinions about how to handle that. Some people would say, yeah, you should just bring the girls in the bathroom with you, I guess. I don't know. That's how I do it. What are your guys' opinion? What does that look like for you? Maybe moms of sons. What does that look like for you? Do you just take your sons in the bathroom with you if you're traveling with them by themselves? Do you kind of do what I do and just one at a time go in? Do you have them wait in the car and you lock the car while you run in really quick? That would be a good conversation to have as a community. And maybe I'll eventually ask Steph how she would handle it. Obviously, she has her daughter, Olive, and so it's a little bit different because same gender and all that when it comes to that situation. But be curious to hear your thoughts about how to handle that situation. So definitely let me know. singleparentspodcast@gmail.com. That's the singleparentspodcast@gmail.com. You're going to be proud of me. What did I do with it? Was it around here somewhere? It's in the back of the seat. I should probably throw it away. But I said the whole thing about the cheeseburger. But when we were at that last gas station, the girls wanted a snack. And me being a dad on a road trip, maybe I'm a little more lenient than I probably should be when it comes to the food they eat and whatever. But one of my daughters wanted a Cinnabon cinnamon roll, just one singular cinnamon roll. And she ate like the top part of it and gave up like not even halfway through, probably like a third of the way through she gave up. And I was tempted to take that cinnamon roll and munch on it as I was driving down the road. We had still like 2 hours left at this point in time, but I didn't. I stayed strong. I was like, if that cinnamon roll is going to taste good for a second, but especially that doughiness, the sugar, those carbs, going to sit in my gut as I sit for 2 hours, and I'm going to feel like crap. So I didn't. I passed. I put in just a piece of gum because I still wanted that sweetness, but a little piece of gum kind of helped take care of that craving, and chug some water. And now, looking back several hours later, I'm very proud of myself, pat on the back for not eating that cinnamon roll. All right, you guys, I'm done yapping. I will check back in with you, and for you all, it's going to be like the next couple of seconds. For me, who knows, some point throughout this little getaway vacation, we'll talk some more before we head home, and that's going to happen right about now. Yeah, feels a lot better. So actually, for me, it's been a couple of days since we arrived, and I last checked in with you guys. Practically for me, I know for you guys it's only been a few seconds, but it's been nice. Just I've been able to sleep in. For me, like sleeping in's like what, 8 o'clock in the morning. That's what I consider sleeping in. But it's been cool, not even just because the fact that I am hanging out with my family, being around my family. So like, even if my girls did get up super early, ready to party like they normally do, I could just pawn them off on my mom and my dad, for example. Not even just because of that, but because my kids themselves, have been sleeping and relaxing and chilling and vibing in the morning. So we've all just been catching up on our Z's. They're kids in their own way, Sometimes I think we forget, and I think Steph has said this before, that our kids they have lives, they have things that exhaust them, they have things that they needed to take breaks from, and so in their own ways, their bodies can exhale and kind of let whatever their own version of stress and chaos just kind of be for a little bit, just kind of relax for a little bit. So they've been doing that, and then actually today they're spending most of the day with my mom and my sister, because they took them out to go to the mall, do girl stuff. I don't know. So I was actually able to go out, hang out with some friends, just kind of sit and get some quietness for the first time. I'm actually sitting in a parking lot of some random businesses, recording right now, and it's just kind of nice just to kind of slow down and be a little peaceful, especially because trips and traveling can be very, very chaotic. And we talked before on the show about the fact that whenever you can, even though we have a lot of craziness we have to navigate sometimes, especially when traveling, to make sure that we still find time for us, to kind of, if we can, kind of escape. I know not all travel trips involve being around family or friends who you can kind of say, hey, can you take my kids for a little bit so I can go catch a breather? I know that's not always the case, but even if it is just like 10 minutes after the kids go to bed, to especially when you're traveling, to slow down enough to go, whew, okay, we made it. We survived the drive, or we survived the plane ride or the train ride, whatever. That was a lot. Sometimes when you're traveling, just getting there, you have that tense feeling in your body sometimes of just like, we just need to get there. We just need to get there. We just need to get there. So to like not let your knuckles be gripping anything anymore, but to let it go, let it relax. Again, even if it is like 10 minutes at the end of the day, I think it's necessary, and I think it's good. Another thing I did so far on this trip, I told you at the beginning that kind of the whole purpose of this trip was to meet my brand new niece, Savannah. And so let's just do a quick little hot and fast baby review, niece review, really quick. Out of, 5 out of 5 full diapers, I'm going to give her a 5 out of 5. That diaper is as full as can be. I don't know why I picked that rating scale. I'm sorry, Savannah, but you're awesome. She's so cute, you guys. She's legit. My daughters love her so much. My daughters are obsessed with like baby dolls in general. Like that's just what they're into, especially Ev, my older daughter. And so they're just they're happy as can be sitting on the couch holding their little cousin. And their cousin, she's 3 weeks old, so she'll cry and she'll whine and need to go get fed and have her diapers changed and the little pacifier put in her mouth, and my girls will just wait till their cousin's ready to party again. And it's been fun hanging out with them. It's been, I guess, nostalgic. Can you be nostalgic for early years of parenting? I don't know, maybe nostalgia is only for like TV shows and movies. I don't know. I'll have to look up the definition. But it kind of has made me feel a little nostalgic to when my girls were young, to when they were in diapers, to when they literally could do nothing but chill on your lap. And you'd have to rock them, and you'd have to burp them, and then you'd have to clean up the spit that got on your shirt. And I remember those days, and my grandma, she was like, hey, like, because we have all like grandbaby girls. So I have 2 girls. My brother now has a daughter. So my grandma was like, hey, we need, be cool to have a boy. Any between you, your siblings, gonna give me a grandson? What's going on with that? And I guess technically I could, as a 34, 35-year-old man. I haven't gotten fixed yet. I haven't got anything snipped or ripped or burnt. I don't know how that exactly works, but I guess technically I could. But I don't know. Especially, like, I guess, like, if I had, like, a partner who wanted that, and we had some conversations about that, I guess. Like, I guess maybe that's why I haven't gotten any surgeries or anything, because if I do meet somebody one day, I want to make that a conversation that we have together, I guess, so that way I'm not walking into any relationship being like, well, I already made this decision, so if you want to be with me, sorry, you have to, like, I don't know, that's just, maybe that's weird, I'm not really sure, but but if I'm being super selfish, I'm going to say it. I might regret saying this one day and have to pretend like I never said this, but I'm going to say this now. As of right now, 2024, I think I'm good. I think I'm good when it comes to kids. Because I think, ultimately, when I think back to raising kids from baby age up to, toddler, terrible twos, preschool, so on and so forth, I guess, realistically, my only viewpoint of that area, that experience, and what that's like comes from doing it as a single dad. Because when my girls, when I split from their mom, when we split from each other, the girls were super, super young, like in strollers. I think they were, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, I don't, maybe not even 3 probably. And so my whole memory of them being little babies was me being a single dad, having them get in and out of car seats by them myself, having to, stay up when they couldn't fall asleep, having to push strollers around, having to have backpacks full of stuff that you got to make sure you got. So when I think back to all of that, I just think of exhaustion and survival mode and craziness. But I guess maybe it would be different if I did have like a partner, like a full-time partner, like either a girlfriend or a wife again or whatever. Maybe it'd be different because then I wouldn't just be me in the household taking care of 2 little babies. So I've never experienced that. And so like I can't relate that season of life to anything but I guess my own experience, because that's just all I have to really go off of. So I don't know. But as of right now, I'm good. I think I'm good because my younger daughter is 6, going to be 7 this year, and I'm like 34. So in my head, I'm like, you only got 12 more years. Then the girls can decide what they want to do, who they want to be, what they want to go off and explore. And I can just be like, well, you guys go do that. I'm going to go live on a cruise ship for 6 months. Peace out. Bye-bye. And yeah, so I don't know, hitting the restart button. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. But yeah, it's been good. I guess I'm kind of blabbing. I know I'm kind of yapping right now because I just got done hanging out with my friends. Gonna go back to my family's house. We're gonna do like a family hangout night, barbecue or something like that. But then we're making the trek home tomorrow morning / afternoonish because I have to get home by a certain time so I can have the girls go back to their mom for her week with them. And so all I'm really thinking about not really, in the back of my head, I'm going to go back to my parents' house. I'm going to have some tasty adult beverages. So I'm going to get loose in a second. But in the back of my head, I have the fact going on that I need to find all of our junk that's scattered all around the house by now. Make sure we have all the clothes, all the phone chargers, all the technology chargers. Make sure we got all my dog stuff. Make sure that we're got to load up the car, just ready to go. So I got to basically do everything I spent a few days doing before we left for the trip. Got to do that again over the course of a night and a morning. And yeah, that sounds exhausting. Not only that, then I got to load up the car, and then I got another 4-hour drive back home. So yippee skippy. But we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna do that. Like I said, I'm gonna go drink. To be super honest, I'm gonna go park my car, toss my keys, and just kind of vibe and drink the rest of the night with my family. So I'm gonna do that. Then I guess slowly we'll get all organized. We'll get back home eventually. So I'll just check in with all of you one more time before we close this episode here in a few seconds. When you see me, I'm going to be back probably in front of my house, and then I'll kind of wrap up my journey in general, and that will be pretty much it. All right. I did it. I survived the trip, people. I'm back home. Just made it to my house a few minutes ago after dropping off the girls to their mom for her week with them. Just pulled into my driveway. I made it. I did it. I survived the travel. Well, actually, you know what? Like, I don't want to really have that attitude. I don't really want to think like that because, to be honest, I can sometimes get into this mindset of like, what's coming up? Okay, just need to figure out how to survive it. Just got to figure out how to get through it. Okay, figure that out. On to the next thing I have to figure out and survive. And I have to catch myself sometimes because I don't want to live in that just got to survive as a single parent mentality. Like, I want to maybe just even take this evening and slow down and think back to all the good times I had with my kids, the memories that we made. We did a lot of fun stuff. I hung out with some friends. They hung out with family. They got to meet new family. So I want to, again, really slow down and cherish those memories and not just think of it as like, oh, got through it, survived, on to the next thing. So I'm not going to think like that. I'm going to just be thankful that we made it home safe, that the travel was smooth for the most part. Typical, travel exhaustion. And then now I just remember the fact that I have a trunk and a back seat full of crap that I need to bring into the house, laundry I need to wash, stuff I need to put away. So honestly, it probably won't be sitting down and reminiscing for a little while at least, but c'est la vie, c'est la vie. But I'll go get to that. Thank you all, seriously, for joining me on this trip. It was good to be able to process this with you all, to share my thoughts and feelings and stress and exhaustion with you all. Hopefully, many of you were able to relate to some of the things I brought up. Maybe you have some travel tips in the future. Summer's just getting started, so I'm sure I'll be doing, me and my kids, do a lot more traveling going forward. So if you have any tips, suggestions, advice, thoughts, comments, concerns, any of it, just do all the things. Use the socials, the email, the @singleparentspodcast@gmail.com email address. Share your thoughts, share your perspectives, and maybe just even let me know. You guys going anywhere cool this summer? You all have any cool, legit travel trips planned, lined up on the books? I know for Steph, she's going out of town next weekend after we recorded the season finale for a sweet concert trip with her and her pals, and I'm sure I'll do other stuff over the summer. We're gonna get out, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna have some adventures. It's gonna be a kick-ass summer. But in the meantime, we still have one more episode of the Single Parents Podcast to put out before we have our season finale of the hot era that we've been talking about since, January? Yeah, so we're going to, Steph and I next week together, we're going to share our thoughts, we're going to reflect, we're going to just look back at the last, 6 months and see how we have grown, things we have learned, and just set ourselves up for some cool things that we both have planned for the summer that we just can't wait to share with you all. But that's coming next week. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn on notifications, YouTube, your favorite podcast hosting platform. Do all the things because you're definitely not going to want to miss it. All right, I know I'm yapping, I'm stalling because I don't want to go in and do laundry, but I need to do it. So let's go, Anthony. You got this. So I'm going to go be responsible for a little bit longer. Then I'm cracking open a drink and I'm sitting my butt down. You all have a good night. Enjoy yourselves. Good day whenever you're listening to this. And thank you seriously for joining us for another episode of the Single Parents Podcast. One more time, my name's Anthony, and you all out there, just stay beautiful. Bye.